God was with me through that Daniel fast, breaking off chains of fear. Hey, family, welcome back to my channel. I'm so glad to have you all joining me today. So, today I want to talk to you guys about a few life updates, and I want to share how I got to this point. So, if you are interested, please keep watching. I've had a lot of life updates within this year of 2025. If you are a subscriber of my channel, you know I got laid off this year, went through a really bad, um, hard time on that job. I then went through a really rough season with my family life. My mom got sick. She does have a mental illness, and she had a manic episode this year. And so I was struggling with that as well. And right in the midst of the layoff, the manic episode, just a lot of pressures that were going on in my life during that time, um, dealing with a major transition because I had worked on that job for 10 years and I found myself feeling a little bit lost, a little bit empty without it. It was a lot of pressure during that time. And I felt the Lord tell me in my spirit that I need to fast. So I chose a Daniel fast. And I have those videos in the playlist. So if you guys want to check that out, I'll link it to this video. But I want you guys to know that that Daniel fast was more than just content. It was a real fast that I did in my life, and God answered my prayers in such a tangible way during that time. So I want to encourage you guys, if you're going through something, to consider doing a Daniel fast. The Lord took that fast and He used it. He really used it to get my attention. He strengthened me. He opened up doors that I was afraid to open myself. Um, so let me explain what I mean by that. That job became a dead end. And I knew it was a dead end, but I kept I kept looking at the positives of that job. So there were some positives that I could work a set amount of hours. I could still pick my kids up from school. There were certain things that I was holding on to because I felt like I couldn't get something better. And there was a time when the Lord really had to deal with me on that belief. And he really spoke into my heart and was like, "Do you not trust that I can give you something better, that I can give you a better job, and you still have the flexibility to get your children and do the things that you need to do?" So I was, dealing with that part of me that was not believing. But then there was another mountain to climb. I was afraid to fill out job applications. I was really scared. I was afraid to put myself out there. I was afraid to get on these interviews and have to um, speak about myself in a way that I didn't necessarily feel about myself. Like I had to be very confident. When you're interviewing, you have to know what you're talking about. You have to sound confident. You have to feel or say things that make people think you feel good about yourself. And just coming from a layoff, I didn't feel the best about myself. And so I was afraid, like, even the thought of going through rounds of interviews, I was very afraid. I couldn't even think about it. So it was during that time of my Daniel fast that God really dealt with me about those beliefs. Today has been super stressful. Started with all that stuff with my mom this morning, and then work has become super stressful. People are just getting angrier and trying to fight for their little position. I was so unhappy with this job, and I stayed complacent. I was like in a dead end. Nobody was really respecting me. There was no opportunity for growth. And it was just bad. Again, today, she sent out another email trying to throw me under the bus with some findings she had with a document that I was working on. And I mean, people do miss things or make mistakes. It's not that serious to copy the director on an email. Like it's just ridiculous. I can tell that I haven't been good at endings. I don't like endings. I did that in a previous season of my life when I was attending a church. It was time for me to step away, and I didn't discern the ending of that season well. And then I ended up staying past my time there. And the same thing is going on again with me on this job. Some of my old coworkers that were kind of under me on the team that I lead, they've both got manager positions now. It gives me hope that maybe, if it's the right thing that God has for me, that he'll open up a door. What you guys just saw in that clip is me. I was at a low point. It was really the lowest point of that fast. Day 5 was a really hard day because I had to come to terms with my disbelief, not trusting in the Lord, knowing that I should have left a job before and I let it come to the absolute end. I had to really be accountable and own up to not letting the job go when I should have. You see, I was not good at ending things. And the Lord dealt with me. He even gave me resources to read. It was a book called Necessary Endings by Dr. Cloud. And God had gave me that book to read and to really nourish my soul. So during that time, of course, I had prayer and I really spoke to the Lord about it, did some repenting, did some prayer. And then, you guys, after my fast, I got a bunch of job interviews. And I just started going on a bunch of interviews. And I got rejected by a bunch of jobs. But there was one job in particular that when I went on the first interview, I knew immediately that I wanted that job. So as I'm getting rejected by the other jobs, it didn't matter because I was like, I don't really want these jobs anyway. As I went on that process, it was a big process. There were like 4 interviews. There was a big presentation that I had to give. And the way that the Lord encouraged me, I did not feel afraid. I wasn't afraid to do these things, which is strange because even the thought of an interview session or a presentation in front of a board or a panel was enough to cause my heart to race and me to feel anxious and nauseated. But when I was actually doing it, I felt strengthened. It was like the fear was diminished because I had spent time with the Lord. He dealt with that fear in me. I was to a place where I was able to just release all that fear to God and say, Lord, I give it to you. If I get the job, I get it. If not, that's fine. I gave my presentation. I was so exhausted after that presentation. Like all my strength and energy went into that presentation that afterwards I was so tired. I just laid on the couch and fell asleep. Through that, I realized that God was with me this whole time through that Daniel fast, breaking off chains of fear, chains of beliefs that weren't right, limiting beliefs on God, limiting the power of God to bless me with something. And so to wrap this video up, a job offer. And funny thing is, I heard the same words that I heard 10 years ago when I got my first job. It was a unanimous decision. Everyone voted for me. In addition to that, though, I was told that I was chosen out of 180 applicants. And to top it all off, my start date was the same start date that I started on my job 10 years ago. So if that is not a God instance, then I don't know what is. And the funny thing is, you guys, everything that I said I wanted, the ability to work from home, the flexibility, all of that, minimal traveling, all of that was what I asked the Lord for, and He came through. But it was through a process. I had to fast. I had to renew my mind in the scriptures. I had to break off those limiting thoughts because, you guys, limiting thoughts will keep you from what God has for you. Limiting beliefs will keep you from being able to step into the next chapter that God has for you. I know this because this is what the Lord showed me and taught me through my journey. So, I want to invite you all to take a Daniel fast. If you're going through something, if you are in need of something, I just want to invite you guys to do it. Check out my playlist, see the things that I ate. It's really a wonderful experience. It's not as hard as you think it is, and the Lord will be with you every step of the way. So, if this video resonates with you, please share it with someone that you love. And thank you for watching. Have a blessed day.